The water cycle is a continuous movement of water on, above, and below the Earth's surface. A reservoir is an artificial or natural source or place to store water. All reservoirs have some part to play in the water cycle. The ocean holds 97% of Earth's water and is home to many living creatures. It is estimated that humans have only explored 5% of the ocean, so there's much more that we don't know about. Glaciers and ice caps hold 2% of Earth's water. A lot of the ice caps and glaciers are currently melting due to global warming. Groundwater holds less than 1% of Earth's water. It is a major source of drinking water and agricultural water. A lake is a body of water that can be a good source of food or drinking water. It is estimated that there are 117 million lakes worldwide. A river is also a good source of food or drinking water. The longest river in the world is the Nile River, and the largest river in the world is the Amazon River. Most rivers either end up in the ocean or join other bigger rivers and end up in the ocean. About 1,000th of Earth's water is in the atmosphere. Clouds condense water vapor that will eventually fall back to Earth, if heavy enough. The human body is about 70% water. The average person in the United States uses about 375 liters of water a day. Most of the water that is consumed and used in the United States is cleaned and filtered. We get our water from lakes, rivers, and groundwater. Now let's get to the water cycle. The water cycle can start with evaporation, which is the endothermic process where the sun heats up water surface, which turns to water vapor and rises. Evaporation then leads to condensation, which is exothermic. Condensation is when water vapor condenses and turns into tiny droplets, which is in the form of clouds. It can also start with transpiration. Transpiration is the endothermic process, which is similar to evaporation, where plants release water vapor into the atmosphere, which leads to precipitation. Precipitation is where the water droplets from condensation become heavy and let gravity do the work. Precipitation can be in the form of rain, or if in freezing temperatures, snow. A few things can happen from the water that comes from precipitation. Lots of the water ends up in lakes, rivers, and the ocean, which starts the process all over again with evaporation. Or they end up in plants or trees, which can start it with transpiration. It can also go to the process called infiltration, which is the percolation of water into the ground. Infiltration is forced by gravity. Some of the water, after infiltration, finds its way out in a process called discharge, in which groundwater is released from the ground, which empties out into lakes, rivers, or the ocean, or bubbles up in springs. Gravity helps it get released from the ground. The water that doesn't quite make it into the ground or floods from a lake or a river ends up in runoff, which is the downslope movement of water across land forced by gravity. This happens where lakes and rivers are in higher elevation and have a nearby path to lower elevation. Two things that may occur resulting from the water cycle are sublimation. Sublimation is an object that goes from solid directly to gas. Sublimation is endothermic. Another thing that could happen is desublimation, which is vice versa of sublimation, is an object that goes from gas directly to solid. Both of these skip the liquid phase. It appears you have reached the end of the video. Thank you for watching.